Alright, so this is gonna just be a custom game, and I'm gonna explain more about the store. So, for each champion, they'll usually have a good page of recommended items. You can go off that, but sometimes there might be situational things, like, let's say your enemy team is highly ability power or magic damage, you'll want some magic resist. And just with that magic resist item, there's a lot of items that can build into. And also, I think the most important thing is boots. I mean, that's your standard boot. That'll build into all of these. And these are just very important in the game. I mean, obviously to boost your movement speed, but you can get a lot of other things from it. Like these boots, the Merc Treads, give you magic resist, ninja tabby these, magic penetration, attack speed, cooldown reduction, and that also reduces your summoner spells as well, so that's cool. These give you just extra movement speed when you're not in combat, and these just give you an extra movement speed, and it reduces your slows, or the ability to be slowed. It's kind of like the Merc Treads in a way, to reduce the duration of, well, these will reduce the duration of stuns as well. But these Boots of Swiftness just remove slowing effects, or reduce the slowing effects. Let's see here. Let's see, what's another... Well, with armor, if your enemy team is highly attack damage, and as long as you're a tank, you can go the Thornmail route, where, if they hit you, they get some of the damage in return. So you could be running away from them, and if they're a ranged attacker, they can still receive damage from hitting you. So that's a really strong item. Also Sunfire Cape, that's another good one. But mostly for melee champs, because that way they can be right next to the enemies, and then they'll also receive like magic damage from the flame, or the cinder as they call it. So that's helpful. Let's see, what's another good... But some champs who use mana and want to be kind of tanky, this item will give you 400 mana and 90 armor and 20% cooldown reduction. So it's a pretty strong item, and it reduces attack speed. So that's really good if you have champs that have like really good attack speed, specifically like melee champs like Master Yi or even Yasuo. Like if you go against him, as long as you're a tank, obviously you need to be kind of a tanky champ otherwise it'll just look weird if you're like a ADC champ with Frozen Heart or something. But let's see, who would be a good champ with this? Well, I think Darius would be a good champ. That would work. I mean, you want more attacks damage on him, but with the cooldown and armor and mana, I think it's a strong item on him. And then another thing to go with this reducing attack speed, I would also get Randuin's Omen. It also reduces attack speed, and you can activate it, and then it will slow the movement speed of enemies around you. So you can either close in on them to kill them, or you can make a quick escape. There's just a lot of items that I don't...
On wings of fury.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's an item. I mean, there's quite a few items that I've just never used. But alright, so Zerat. This is a really good defensive item. Defensive, like, on a lot of counts, because you can activate this and put it secretively anywhere, and it will pop out a void spawn, and it'll run to the closest lane and try to hold up the minions that are coming down that lane, and it can keep that lane pushed. It's a super strong item. Let's see. Especially if that lane is having trouble, like you don't even need to be in that lane, or if you just want to keep that lane pushed, you can pop the void spawn there and boom, should be golden. Let's see, what's another... let's see here. And they do have, like, these starting things. I like that they put that in now. These are, like, the main jungle things. I know people that, like, just starting out, you can't really jungle until, I believe, level 10. Because that's when you unlock the summoner spell smite. And when you get that, that's pretty much the only time you can purchase jungling items. I mean, you can still jungle without it, but you're gonna need some, like, a damage to do that. So early game it won't work, but late game you'll be able to just clear the jungle camps. So with this, like, see, it's blocked right now because I don't have smite. So if I had smite, all these jungle items would be unlocked. And there's 3 different, like, versions of these. This one, I mean, they all require smite to be in the jungle, but
the enemies of Demacia will fall.
This one, the Stalker's Blade, you can cast the smite on a champion, which is pretty cool, and it can slow them and also do a little bit of damage. So I mean, it's kind of funny when they're super low health and then you smite them and then they die. It's I don't know. It just seems like one of those things where you're stealing a kill really quick with a smite. This one, the Tracker's Knife, I think is a really good one. You can't cast smite on champions, but instead of that, every time you go back to base, you'll get stealth wards. You'll leave the base with 2 wards. It always recharges to 2. So that's really good. And then you can place those, and with that, I'll usually take the Tracker's Knife and also get the Sweeping Lens. Once I purchase that, I'll get this, so that way I can clear out wards, or I can just disable wards to go gank the lane and help out my team. And then this one, the Skirmisher's Saber. You can also cast Smite on the enemy champion, and it marks them. And once they're marked, you'll have vision on them for like 4 seconds, I think. And then your basic attacks will deal extra damage. And their damage done to you is reduced by 20%. So it's a pretty strong item. But like I said, I usually go with the Tracker's Knife because it gives more vision. And to me, vision, like, if you're going to be in the jungle, you got to help out your team put wards. Because sometimes your teammates don't use wards. And that's costly. They might complain, and if you're the jungler, they'll blame it all on you for not helping them. Well, you can't help the lane that's already gone. So it's better to help teammates that are already doing good. I know that sounds terrible, but it's what you need to do. Alright, and also in the lane, like, I don't know, some people just act so weird when they get their items for lane. I don't know. Also for jungling, when you get like one of these items, like they're 350 gold. So once you get that, you'll have like 150 gold left. And that's good, because then you'll mostly just want these refillable potions. So you get that, and you'll get 2 of those. And then once you come back to the base, it'll refill automatically to 2 again. And you can also upgrade that to the Hunter's Potion, which it gives health and mana. So that's good if you're kind of a mana hungry champion in the jungle, but once you get like the Hunter's Talisman, you'll be able to regen your health in the jungle. But you know, some champions are just super mana hungry, so you can also just get the Hunter's Potion. I usually don't really have to deal with that. I'll just stick with the refillable potion, so that way my health stays up and I'll be golden. But another thing, you know, again, you don't really need those once you hit like a few levels. Like probably by level 4, I would hope you wouldn't need your refillable potion anymore. You could just use Smite to gain like an extra X amount of HP, because when you smite you get the health back. So what's another thing? Oh, okay, so now these recommended items are really good. They can, you know, give you a starting point for a champion you might not know. Like for me, I've never played Sivir, so I just picked her, and I see all these items and I'm like, okay, I think those will work on her. But here's the thing, let's say I'm actually in lane and I started, okay, I did these starting items right here, the Doran Shield. Okay, that's good. But if I'm still dying, like, let's say my enemy champion that I'm laning against is building like AD. If they're just building like straight attack damage or attack speed, obviously you shouldn't build more damage. If you're still dying, don't build more damage. Build more defensive. If you build more defensive, you'll be able to take them on, even though they're still building damage. You're building defenses so that way you can be stronger against them. Now, obviously, you know, if you still keep dying, they're even going to get stronger and stronger. Well, I mean, you still don't need more damage. You just need to worry about staying alive. So that means even building stronger defenses. And like, obviously, I know some people in the early stages of the game, heck, I've seen it in rank 2 and I still questioned it, but if you're laning against someone who is AD, please grab armor. I don't like it when people are laning against people who are AD and they're getting magic resist. Well, okay, if slows are killing you, that would be an issue, but obviously you're dying because you don't have armor to protect yourself. And that's vice versa if someone has ability power or magic damage. Build magic resist. Armor isn't going to stop them from damaging you with their abilities. I just don't understand why people do that. And obviously, you know, just getting the magic resist items and armor items might not do a whole lot. You need the health to back that up, so that way you can take more damage because you'll have more hit points. But, you know, some people just, they just don't understand. Like, I'm losing lane, I don't know why. And I'll just be like, okay, I don't know, there could be a lot of things. First off, we're like 30 minutes into the game, you don't even have boots yet, so that'd be an issue. They're chasing you down because they have boots. For me, I try to get boots around the 10-minute mark. That might be my first back to base, if I can stay in lane that long. That's actually a pretty long laning phase. Gotta have a lot of sustain to do that, I think. But anyway, or they're just not warding. Like, they're complaining the enemy jungler is always in their face, they're camping them, and rightfully so, they should. The enemy jungler should be camping them because they aren't playing smart. He's gonna help his team by camping there and getting, well, his ally and himself very strong. And then, let's see here, well yeah, he could not, you know, if he's losing lane because he's building attack damage and his laning enemy is also building attack damage, right there, that's the problem. He has no defenses. So if you're already losing, why are you building more attack damage? You should be building, or whatever your damage is, you should be building defenses to counter them. Because if you're losing, I mean, you're probably only losing by a sleeve of health. You know, they kill you and they only have a sleeve of health left. So if you had defenses, it would be the other way around. Guaranteed. Most people just think, oh, I need more damage or something to friggin' kill this person. No, you don't. If you get defenses early on, you'll be able to be stronger and take them out. You'll just turn the tide in your favor. That's what you need to do. People need to play smart. Using wards, they're your friend. Vision is key. Some people still don't understand that, but it helps a lot. Especially if you get the control ward. That is super huge. Like, it's only 75 gold, okay? Now each champion, so there's, 5 people on a team, that's 5 control boards on the map. Do you know how much vision that is? But try to find a team where everyone places a control board. It rarely happens. There might only be like 2 or 3 people that would do it. It's very rare. But if you had everyone on your team place a control board, man, you just got so much vision, and you'll be able to do anything against that enemy team. Especially if you place the wards correctly. Like, here. I'll grab... I don't know, I'll just
I go.
buy some, and I'll place some in some sweet spots that I like. Like, obviously, if I'm blue side, I will probably be more defensive, you know, protecting my team with the control ward.
Without remorse.
So, with the control ward, I would probably place it in here. It's a really good bush to place it in. And, you know, it's a good defensive place because obviously sometimes the enemy jungler might come around because they might think that over here is warded. And, I mean, that'd be smart if the bot lane is smart to ward that. But also, the bot lane should also ward this. Because he can also skip through maybe not being seen by this ward and cut through here and still get a good jump on the enemies. Or, yeah, still get a good jump on your allies over here. But, if you ward this, most likely they will run past this bush. Alright? Because it's a bush, you know, enemy junglers, they don't need to look in. There's nothing, you know, what are they trying to be sneaky about? So they'll just come all the way around and you'll have vision on them. And hopefully there'll be a ward in here that your allies would do. If not, well, you better get a pretty good indication from that ward. He's gonna come down here and probably do some damage. And also, if I'm over here and, you know, I'm coming from the purple side over here, I'm still gonna put a control ward right here, because I've had a control ward once last the whole game in that bush. And it was just totally awesome. Like, the jungler, I've had people run through the bush, the enemy, and they just left it because there's no time to kill it, because they want to go get a kill on a champion or something. And you just see them coming and you're just ready for it. It's a really strong place to put a control ward. Now, also, a control ward over here is another good place to put it. But remember, see, I had a control ward right here, and they do not time out. They can only get killed by, like, champions. They're the only ones that will kill it. Otherwise, it'll stay the whole game unless someone kills it. But you can only have one on the map per champion. So, like I said before, you can have 5 on the map, which is a lot of vision. So, right here, you know, hopefully the bottom lane, you know, the support puts one right there. That's also very defensive. Or, if you're, once again, coming from the purple side here, you could also put one there, and that's another defensive, because obviously, obviously, their jungler can still come through here. And, you know, he can, obviously, you know, try to get some damage off, but if you have that warded, nah, he's screwed. Alright, let's see, what would be another place? I don't know, like, I guess by these monster buffs right here, you could probably put another control ward. If you just want to see where their jungler is, like, obviously if the jungler is super strong, I would try to have vision in the enemy jungle so that way you know where he is all the time. Because if you don't and you push too far ahead, he could probably come in and kill you. So it wouldn't be the ideal thing. Let's see. Another good place to put a control ward, I think, is right in here. It is pretty much a neutral place, you know, but it's mostly for the people mid lane. They should place it like right about here, or even in this bush, So that way, they have really good vision to know if the jungler is close by. Because in here, it's a short notice thing. But, I mean, you could still put a ward there. Not really a control ward. But, I mean, you could. But when you do, put it at the edges. So that way you can see if someone is destroying it. And then when they're attacking it, you can be in like the fog of war because they won't see you. And then hopefully you have like a ranged ability or something, and then you can attack them and they don't even see you. So they'll be focusing on the control ward and you'll be taking down their life.
The enemies of Demacia will fall.
Alright, so more things in the jungle. This Rift Scuttler, if you kill that, that creates a ward as well. I'm not sure. I don't remember how long it lasts. I think it's, I don't know, like 2 or 3 minutes. I don't remember. But that's good for also map awareness. More wards on the map creates more vision, which is very helpful for your team. Alright, so now this is an epic monster. The dragon. These epic monsters, like, the dragon is like a team buff. And this mountain drake, yeah, this is a mountain drake, and it will make it so you do more damage to objectives. So, which is very important. Me personally, if I'm the jungler, like, yeah, these epic monsters aren't really objectives. For me, getting these turrets right here and then getting the inhibitors, that right there is more powerful than getting an epic monster buff. I mean,
Wings of fury.
even if you come, yeah, we're at the 28-minute mark, so that's good. You'll be able to see Baron here. Now, Baron is the most powerful epic monster in the game. He provides like a super team boost. Like, enemy or your champions will be able to recall super fast, like within 3 seconds, compared to what, like 8 seconds. So yeah, that's a long time to recall. And then also with Baron buff, when you're in lane, your minions get like a buff as well. They get more powerful, they do extra damage, they have more hit points, they're super strong. So with that, most people, I hate to say it, once they get Baron, I mean, it is a good buff to have because it can totally change the outcome of a game. But you need to be able to push lanes when you have Baron buff. Like, if I had Baron buff right now, my minions right here would totally get bigger. This siege minion would be so huge. It would be able to hit the turret all the way from, like, here to there. Like, no lie. It's a super awesome buff.
They have faced nothing
But
like me.
some people have, I mean, when you take on Baron, obviously it can take a while. Your teammates might end up with low health, and that's about normal. But I mean, you get a decent amount of gold from it, and everyone, because you have a quick recall, they always want to be and go back to base. If I'm not low health, I mean, yeah, I could be sitting on, obviously, that much gold. 4k gold. We just killed Baron, I got 4k gold now? Well, okay, I'm still not gonna back. Because I want to make sure, hopefully my team doesn't back either, and hopefully we're not all that low. Because we got this buff. Let's push the lanes and put the game in our favor. Because guaranteed, just absolutely guaranteed, with the Baron buff, if you got minions that you're pushing a lane with, you're guaranteed at least one turret. No lie. Like, it's gonna happen. I mean, yeah, the enemy team, they can have all 5 of their teammates pushing down that lane and trying to kill the minions. But if I had all 5 of my teammates there, since we got Baron buff, those minions would be stronger. And it would take a while for them to kill the minions, and they'd be focusing most likely on the minions instead of us. Because the minions, I tell you, minions win games. They don't call them winions for no reason. Especially when you get an inhibitor. Those super minions pop out. And when you get super minions plus Baron buff, holy man. That you're guaranteed probably, if you don't have a Nexus turret down, you're probably gonna get that down. As long as you keep pushing. That's one thing I really don't like. I mean, when people just want Baron buff. Oh yeah, we got it. That's the most important thing. They don't have it. Well, we should do something with it. I mean, you could be losing the game and then you get Baron buff. Oh, we're just gonna defend with Baron buff. No, don't do that.
Without remorse.
I mean, yeah, okay, so they got the inhibitor. Let's go in that lane and make sure those super minions don't destroy our lane. And then we can probably get some turrets in that lane for sure. We should be able to. I mean, their whole team will probably come to that lane, because we're all in that lane. But if we had this amount of minions with Baron buff, that's huge. That's a lot of damage. Like, this right here easily will take out the rest of that turret. Easily. Say goodbye to that turret. Even though the enemy minions walked right into it. But that turret will still go down. Look at that. Just got more gold. All because of the minions. And here's another wave of minions. That's huge. If we had Baron buff, this turret's a little over half health. I bet you once they clear out this wave, that wave coming up will meet up with this one. I bet you that turret will go down easily. Easily. But you know, enemy champions obviously will see a giant wave and right away they're thinking gold. Well, of course. You can get a lot of gold out of that. But also they want to defend that turret because they know if that turret goes down, their enemies get gold. Yeah, this turret will go down easily. How low is that one? Pretty good. Say goodbye to that turret. This one's super low. But this wave is already pushing back. And the weird thing is about this, I haven't really been in lane, and I don't have any AI in lane either, so the waves just get bigger and bigger, like every other time. Like, before this lane obviously got big because it got pushed all the way to inhibitor, and now it's reversing it. It's pushing it all the way to our inhibitor, probably. Because this is a pretty big wave. Like, these turrets are taking a lot of damage now. Alright, I'm gonna go back to the store. And I'm probably gonna get the Zizzirat. Because it's a really... right here. Alright, it's a really good defensive item. Obviously, it gives you armor and magic resist. And you can get movement speed by going past falling while near turrets or fallen turrets. And void gates. Oh, that's pretty cool. And then obviously the health regen. So, since this lane seems to be getting pushed pretty hard, what I'm gonna do is place the void gate right here. And see, there's the void spawn. So this will freeze the lane right here. It shouldn't get past any more than this. But that is a pretty big minion wave, so I don't know. It's gonna be close. I'm hoping it'll help. I don't know. Well, it's getting pushed at turret. Let's see. Cause these void spawns do a little bit of damage. And I believe the more health you have, the more damage. Yeah, the more health you have, the more damage these things will do. And this only lasts 2 minutes. Or it can be destroyed as well. Enemy champions can hit that and destroy it. So obviously if I had more health right now, it probably would have been more beneficial to help do damage. So let's see, I got quite a bit of gold here. Hey. Giant's belt. I'll just get another Giant's belt. And then extra health. Okay. So now I got quite a bit of health. And these things will do 265 damage. Look at that. And then all the damage they do to minions, you can receive that gold. You don't even need to be near it. It just gives you gold. Oh no, we lost an inhibitor. That's not good. Because now we're going to start seeing super minions. So now, actually I think I'll be more beneficial and put this Zizzirat probably right in this bush or so. That way it can push. And look at that, like it just chunked that with one hit. Alright, now, so see as those things go down, I mean they lose health rapidly, but they can totally slow down that lane. And it's got the super minions coming in, but when it attacks, it's doing slowly damage to that super minion. I'm just gonna keep popping those out. But now, that wave made it through. This one's still just gonna try to freeze the lane, but with a super minion, it's gonna be kinda tough to do. But it still slows down the lane. Meanwhile, mid lane, I'm gonna have super minions of my own. And so, okay, so the super minions from this lane came to help out this lane. There, got my super minions now. Let's see, what would be another... See, these guys are... Yeah. We might lose that turret. Yeah, that turret's gone. See, without attacking these super minions, winions, I tell ya, they'll wreck you every time. And that's only with one inhibitor down. And luckily, you know, minions pop out here and they help defend. But now, let's see. Alright, so our inhibitor is like halfway on respawning. You can tell because it lights up. Once it gets to about here, it'll be ready to respawn. And it tells you like inhibitor or ally inhibitor ready to respawn. And usually after that, it's like 15 seconds before it respawns. As for this one, yeah, we're almost about the same way here, about halfway through. Let's see, they're probably gonna get that turret.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Let's see, right here, we're probably gonna get a turret too. I wonder, who's gonna win? We're gonna have bare nexuses soon. And this is with me, like, not pushing the lanes. So it comes out pretty even. Okay, I did push a little in the bot lane because I put the Zizzy Rock, but minor. Actually, I'm gonna place that again. I don't want to lose. Oh, there goes the Nexus. Yeah, there we go. Look at these Winions all day. Oh, they popped out minions? No, attack! Oh, crud. I don't know, is it gonna do enough damage or is the inhibitor gonna respawn? It might respawn. Alright, so I kinda froze that up. Oh, we win. Yay.